All right, welcome back to the channel. We got a good fight coming up this weekend. Jermall Charlo versus Dennis Hogan for the WBC 160-pound title. And I'm happy to see Ring Magazine giving a nice article about Jermall Charlo, even though they somehow managed to rank him the number 4 160-pounder, even though he's only one of 3 guys with a belt. So let's talk about Jermall Charlo, the knockout that he promised, and the 160-pound division in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of whenever we drop something. Also, thank you so much to the Patreon community, the live stream community for your support. And also, feel free, accept my invitation to be a member of the channel. You'll find the button down here where it says join. All my folk in the LDBC, I'd appreciate if you would. I would love it if you could be official member of the channel, get your name in green during the live streams, because we're gonna have special privileges for cats with green in the live streams. Anyway, and the color green around your name. Anyway, let's get to this. I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm looking forward to this because I think Jermall Charlo is about to spin this boy's head around in a circle. I think we're about to get an exciting knockout out of Jermall Charlo, and then hopefully spark enough interest so that we can start getting some real unifications at 160 pounds. Right now, before I say that, I also have to put out here a little bit though that I know that a part of the problem with this unification at 160, a little bit of that is on Jermall Charlo and on the PBC, because Demetrius Andrade is out there with the WBO belt. And from what I can see, the PBC is acting as if that is not a major championship belt, and Demetrius Andrade is not a champion. I also heard Ronnie Shields, who was the trainer for Jermall Charlo, as basically saying, now, what do you get out of a fight with Demetrius Andrade? So before I get into that, I had to put that caveat out there. I don't like how that sounded. But still, I like Jermall Charlo as a fighter. I was actually ringside. I don't know, would you call it ringside when you're like 8 rows back? I was on the floor watching the fight with Jermall Charlo and Dennis Hogan up close and personal. And I can attest, I'm telling you, it does look, as we all know, the fights looks a good bit different in person than they do on TV. And I assure you, Brandon Adams got that dome rattled a bunch of times and but very good with gamesmanship and getting inside and just kind of switching stuff up and trying to find a way to survive with Jermall Charlo. I don't think that we're going to get that same type of action out of this guy, Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan is a cat out from Europe. I'm not sure if he's Irish or if he's British, but I know he's from the UK. And he put on an excellent performance against Jaime Munguia. Now, Jaime Munguia got the decision because, that's how they roll with Jaime Munguia. That's how they roll on that Golden Boy card. I thought Dennis Hogan, I would have scored that fight for Dennis Hogan. At the very least, Dennis Hogan clearly exposed Jaime Munguia for what I've said that he's been since the first time that I saw him, which is just a big baby Huey weighing probably 2 weight divisions down from where he should be fighting. That's just too big and too strong for guys that were too small to fight him, right? That's when he got that belt off, when Jaime Munguia got that belt off of Saddam Ali. My thoughts were, my God, man, what weight class is this dude in? You got you have Saddam Ali, who I do believe at a point in time fought at 100 was he a 147 pounder? Yeah, he's either a 147 pounder or at a point in time, he might even have been a 140 pounder. But Saddam Ali, who got that WBO 154 pound belt off of Miguel Cotto in his retirement fight, right? Miguel Cotto was clearly on his last legs, ready to go, ready to, step off into his promotional outfit. So, there was, Saddam Ali's just kind of like a transitional guy. And then he got fed like a Twinkie to Jaime Munguia. But Jaime Munguia is just not that good a fighter. in my opinion, skill-wise, and that's what Dennis Hogan showed. Dennis Hogan was counter-punching him. Hogan wobbled him a couple times. Hogan was strong enough, took good enough of a punch, was good enough of a counter-puncher because Munguia all kind of problems. Munguia, doesn't really have a jab, doesn't have a stiff jab that can stand out there and make somebody pay for that as they're coming in. So, hey, man, that's why Dennis Hogan was to do that with him. But Dennis Hogan going into this fight with Jermall Charlo, that's an entirely different beast. He's going to be eating jabs and straight right down the pipe as soon as he tries to come in with his hands hanging low all like that, man. Now, in an interview that Jermall Charlo alluded to the same thing in an interview that he gave. This was a Fight Hype interview I just listened to this morning. There was a press conference. It was like a phone press conference where they had the audio up for the press conference. And Jermall Charlo was saying, look, man, I'm 26-0, 21 knockouts, whatever his record is, right? But he's like, look, sometimes you get in there against top guys, and they're just very, very good at surviving. They don't want to get knocked out. They're not letting their hands go. They're not allowing themselves to be put in a situation where you knock them out. So what you got to do is you just go about your business. You win the decision. You get out of there with a victory. And that's what he did. He was speaking specifically about Brandon Adams. But he said with this particular guy, Dennis Hogan, I'm fighting somebody that wants to come forward, somebody that wants to fight. And if he wants to come forward and he wants to fight on me, then, hey, man, it's going to be a tough night on him. And I do believe that that's what you're going to get with Jermall Charlo against this guy, Dennis Hogan. I think this guy's going to take Dennis Hogan's head off. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Same thing, like, for example, if you have a guy like J-Rock. Like, J-Rock is a very, very good fighter. He's the unified 154 pounder. He's the guy that beat Jarrett Hurd for his belts. I think the belts that he held was the IBF and the WBC. No, IBF and the WBA. Now J-Rock is the IBF and the WBA because the WBO was Jaime Munguia and the WBC is Tony Harrison. So yeah, it's the IBF and the WBA belts are held by J-Rock. J-Rock also was somebody that was gonna come forward and he's switching angles, but he's in there. And when he was in there, he was fighting a good fight against Jermall Charlo. If I recall correctly, it was a good competitive fight. But the problem was he's there to be hit. And he, being Jermall Charlo, he's not a Jarrett Hurd. He's not somebody that is just going to wear you down with accumulation of punches where he can just hit you and you're going to take this shot, you're going to take that shot, you can eat these shots, but you can only take them for so long. He's just going to wear you down by attrition. No, Jermall Charlo is somebody who can hit you with a straight right hand and put you out, right? He has that type of power. More so than I believe even Jaime Munguia has that type of power, especially because it's delivered straight. So what I expect to see in this particular fight with Jermall Charlo and Dennis Hogan is I expect to see Dennis Hogan say it'd be good night to Dennis Hogan. And I don't even know, man, good night to Dennis Hogan in maybe 7 or 8 rounds. And then the importance of that, though, is, like I said in the beginning of this, is that to see Jermall Charlo lay somebody out can reignite not reignite or further ignite, grow the pressure on the other 160-pound fighters to champions to fight him. Now, one of these guys ain't going to do it for nothing, okay? One of them ain't going to do it for nothing, and that's Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is just, Canelo Alvarez got his own rules. He's got his own belts. He does whatever he wants, however he wants it. So there ain't no amount of pressure that's going to get Canelo Alvarez in the ring with Jermall Charlo, or Canelo Alvarez would have fought Jermall Charlo at 154 pounds. I don't see that. Maybe he can get Gennady Golovkin in the ring, because Canelo Alvarez said that he doesn't want to fight Gennady Golovkin again. He's pretty much done with that circumstance. So maybe that can be brought about. And And my understanding is that Jermall Charlo said he'd be willing to go over to the zone for a fight with one of those guys. Because as we know, similar to Terrence Crawford's situation in the welterweight division, where all of the other welterweight champions, the other 3 belts are held by PBC fighters. Jermall Charlo is in that situation where all the other 160-pound belts are held by guys that are fighting on the zone. He said he would be willing to go over there to the zone and work that out. I think he's Lions only promotion, so he's on his own promotion. So that should be hopefully that should be able to be worked out. But the first step in order to make that happen is Jermall Charlo got to lay this dude out, man. He's got to lay him out in devastating fashion. I'm looking forward to that happening. And also, I think, we got the other fight, probably the more significant or the more competitive fight coming up not too long after that, which is the fight between the Jermall Charlo and Tony Harrison. And I'm really looking forward to that rematch. Anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.